Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and I finally got a webcam! Ah! So welcome to the first episode of Grandmasters Mind. Grandmasters Mind, of course, is the series where we take a look at the game completely through my vision of view, and let's hop straight into the game. So here we are in the actual game of Heart of the Swarm. This time it's going to be a game on Howling Peak. It is a game that I actually played, I guess it was 2 or 3 days ago, and it was one of the better Zerg vs Terran games that I have played so far. Of course, this is Heart of the Swarm because this is most likely going to be the thing that I'm mostly going to be playing, because it's really a lot of fun to mess around with the new units and whatnot. However, personally, I'm not really someone who tries the new units right away. Like, a lot of people are actually complaining when you do a Wings of Liberty build order in Heart of the Swarm, just because, you know, you're playing Heart of the Swarm and they all really kind of expect you to go for Heart of the Swarm unit. But me, myself, I kind of like the idea of using Heart of the Swarm or Wings of Liberty build orders and units until they seriously don't work anymore. So that's kind of my mindset. I want to try use the same build orders as long as it works, and at that point I want to switch up my gameplay. But in this Zerg vs Terran, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a different approach. I'm actually forgetting my 9 overload right here, so I'm doing a double extractor track right there, but you know, not really much to focus on right there. But in Wings of Liberty, there's this unit called the Hydralisk, and Hydralisk is something that nobody ever uses anymore. Hydralisk are a really good unit when it comes to in combination with roaches, but once they go off creep and you're starting to lose a fight, it is simply impossible to retreat with that unit because they are so incredibly slow. They are strong, they do a lot of damage. They died really quickly and they are incredibly slow. So in Heart of the Swarm, they are actually trying to fix the Hydralisk. Currently, the speed upgrade that the Hydralisk gets is at the hive tech of things. So you will be able to get the speed upgrade for your Hydralisk. And they also added this new unit called the Viper. And the Viper actually does the actually, let me turn out the sound. But the Viper has this ability that it will actually pull out units from afar into your main army. And this works really well in combination with Roach Hydralisk in Heart of the Swarm. But we aren't at that point just yet. But the point I'm trying to be making right here is that unit composition is really good versus Terran. A lot of Terran players are actually going mech right now, but Roach, Hydra with the speed upgrade, Viper with the abduct, or I guess it's called abduct, but actually the ability to also throw down a cloud of stuff that you won't be able to have the range on that unit anymore. It's just a really potential, it's really an army composition with a lot of potential. So here we are. I actually opened up with a hatchery first right here. Going to also follow it up with a spawning pool, which is completely 100% standard. And to be honest, the early game build orders for Zerg hasn't changed at all. All Zerg players that I've met and all players that I've actually been watching games of are pretty much doing the exact same thing. Sometimes actually getting one less evolution chamber and whatnot. But the early game part, really, you probably know that by now. It's a pretty standard build order. So I'm going to open up with 2 queens, as I always do. Going to start with 2 Zerglings as well, just to chase out that SCV that is in my main right now. And I'm actually going to spread overlords all across the map, as you can see right there, to make sure that I have complete vision for any kind of drops that might be coming. So here we go. My first queens are about to be finished. I'm actually going to start my 3rd and 4th queen pretty much completely after finishing them. There we go. Also queuing them up, and also having 2 more queens on the way as soon as I can. And I'm gonna get my double gas geyser up at 5 minutes. So I just followed that SCV, didn't manage to kill it. I saw a few marines being out on the map, and I also used my first overlord to actually check out what time his base went up. And it turns out his base went up at the 3 minute and 15 second mark, if I'm not mistaken, which instantly means that it is a 1 Rex expand. So at this point, I can do one of 2 things. I can actually do a little bit of a pressure with Ling Roach Baneling, which has a lot of potential, to be honest. You can most of the time actually kill your opponent straight up with that. But in this game, I'm actually gonna go for a 6 minute expansion, 5 minute gases. As you can see right there, already sending my drone to the 3rd base. And I'm gonna use my first 2 queens that I got initially to start spreading a lot of creep. I'm gonna use my other queens to actually start injecting, and there you could actually see me check quickly for his base, and it turns out he has 2 mules mining there, meaning that he won't be able to scan me. So if I would have gone for actually a little bit of a roach ling bailing aggression, there's really no chance that he would have scouted it until a pretty later point. However, not going to be doing that. I really didn't feel like it, so what I'm going to do instead is actually spend my first 100 gas on Zerking speed, as you can already see going down, and I'm also going to start some more stuff. But here we go. I'm actually seeing that there's 2 barracks out, or 2 factories out right now. So what I'm going to do is actually start 2 evolution chambers and a what is it called? A roach warren, there we go. And I also actually saw the 3rd base going up with my overlord. So really important overlord scout right now. I actually started doing that around the 7-minute mark. I'm flying in an overlord in my opponent's base in Zerg versus Terran, because it seems to be the correct thing to do, especially with all the new stuff that can be going on. However, I honestly don't really know yet what kind of units I can expect from this kind of build order. So here we go. Since I already told you I want to go for Roach Hydralisk Viper in the end game, I'm actually going to start upgrading my roaches early on. I'm also getting a roach warren relatively early on, and I'm also going to start some more Zerglings as soon as I can. Here we go. I'm actually starting 10 just in case, because I saw Idra do that on his live stream. He actually, before actually drawing up his 3rd base, he got a bunch of Zerglings out just to spread them across the map and whatnot. So here we go. My Zergling speed is about to be finished. My 3rd base is finished as well, and I'm instantly going to be saturating that as much as I can. Also going to keep spreading a lot of creep. I have to make sure that I actually connect both bases and get the watchtower vision, because I really don't know what he is going for. At this point, I know it can be either Widow Mines, which is a new Heart of the Swarm unit, or it can of course be Hellions, Battle Hellions, and all that kind of jazz. But most of the time it will indeed be Hellion or Widow Mines. Widow Mines are actually a really potential unit. They do a lot of damage when you accidentally step into them, but for now, I really haven't seen too many Terran players using them. However, I'm kind of scared of them. So that, if you look at the bottom left corner on the minimap, you can actually see the vision that I'm having with my towers that I'm having right now. And it's actually huge. I need to know that there's stuff coming to my 3rd base. Else I can just lose all the drones right there, and I'm going to have some units as well as creep spread going to the 3rd base. So right now, I see something going to that base, and he's actually sending a marine. Well, let's think for a moment. Why would you be sending a marine right there? Well, most of the time he actually wants to slip by this base and actually go for some aggression with some Hellions, because he tries to clear up my vision and catch me by surprise. However, my lair finished right now. I'm going to start an evolution chamber. Shut up, phone. And I'm also going to fly in an overseer in his base to actually see what is going on. And I see actually a Banshee being out right now. Pretty late Banshee right there. But however, I don't really know if he's going to commit to them at all. I made a overseer in my base just in case. I'm actually going to check. Turns out he's making more and more barracks as well as double armory right now. And those armories actually tell me that he is going for Thor. Which instantly means that he will be going for a lot of aggression with mech kind of play. So here we go. I will actually be able to do that army composition that I was talking about earlier. I will need to get an Hydralisk then earlier or soon though. However, I'm just gonna keep droning up right now, because the one thing with mech is that it's really slow, and there's really no way you can push with stuff unless it's called Hellion. So at this point, I feel fairly safe. I'm going to start my +2/+2 upgrades, and I'm also just gonna keep making more and more drones and a few roaches every now and then, just in case he might be moving out at some kind of weird Heart of the Swarm kind of timing. However, I'm also gonna add an in-base macro hatchery, because of course drones mine a little bit faster in Wings of, or in Heart of the Swarm, and I actually scouted his 3rd base is already up. So his 3rd base is up relatively early. I'm actually spilling creep on his other potential 3rd base, but it turns out we actually managed to get the other one. So right now I will need to put on a little bit of aggression, because he kind of took a greedy 3rd base, and he also is taking it at kind of a weird location. As you can look on the minimap right now, there's actually 2 pathways or 3 pathways even to his bases, and I can either attack at the natural and at his 3rd base, and I really don't think there's any way you can defend both at the same time. So here we go. I'm actually droning up as well. I'm also making a bunch of roaches, and I'm also going to start my hive relatively soon, as well as an or what is it called? A Hydralisk then, because the Hydralisk are going to be the one thing that is going to be awesome. There we go. The Hydralisk then is going down right now, and I'm also actually positioning some more spine crawlers in my 3rd base just in case of Hellion run-bys, because you know there can be kind of a bastard, or they can be kind of hell to deal with. So here we go. I'm actually just gathering up some more forces right now that he is most likely at either 4 or 3 or 4 command centers. Kind of hard to tell, but at this point I know that I will be able to put out a bunch of aggression. One of the most important things in Zerg vs Terran, especially right now, is actually going for a bunch of creep tumors. Creep tumors are going to be the one important thing, especially when it comes to Zerg vs Terran, because the creep tumor is going to be awesome in this matchup. However, as you can see, he is moving out across the map right now. He is actually trying to snipe by a bunch of creep tumors, and I actually will be able to catch him off guard. He's not siege just yet, so I'm going to walk my roaches all into his siege tanks and actually try to pick up as many siege tanks as I possibly can. I had to make a really quick decision right here, but siege tanks that aren't siege are absolutely terrible. So here we actually can see that I made a lot of aggression right now, and I'm actually doing a lot of damage. Killing off most of his siege tanks will put me ahead significantly. However, I don't really want to commit to this. My Hydralisks are on the way right now. I actually have the speed upgrade finishing, or the range upgrade finishing right now for the Hydralisk, and I'm also going to start some more Ling, Roach, and Hydralisk. So right now I know that he can either be at his third base or he can be at his natural, but here we see the Widow Mines being into play, actually doing a shit ton of damage right now. However, I'm going to be trying to actually move in right here. I have a few Hydralisks out to actually target fire those Banshees down. However, it looks like I'm not clicking properly, but I do manage to clean up most of his tanks, and the tanks are really the things that are doing most damage right now. So kind of a lucky play right there for me, because I will be able to do a lot of damage with the unsheathed tanks, or to the unsheathed tank right now. But he is running by some Hellions to my third base, and I'm actually going to rally a few Roaches right there. Actually killing off his gas guys and supply depots, because those are going to be hell to replace. But here we go. He's actually doing quite a bunch of damage with all the stuff that he has, but I'm just going to push into his natural right now. I know his third base is pretty much not mining anymore, and I honestly should have started my hive a little bit earlier. I don't think I actually started it, but here we go. He GG's out. This guy was actually a high Grandmaster level player, and I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile, and I see you again. Bye.